My name is Stacy Erickson, and I would like to start this video out by saying that I am a huge supporter of affordable health care. I have some writing here, so if you see me looking down, that's why. I'm a huge supporter of affordable health care. So I don't disagree with affordable health care. I'm very supportive of our current president. I wouldn't necessarily call the health care I'm getting affordable, but whatever. That's not the issue right now. I do support affordable health care. I do not support awful and inefficient systems, and that is why I'm making this video today. I really have never made a video like this to try to draw attention, but I'm just so devastated and frustrated by what I've gone through with our good friends at the Washington Healthplanfinder. Also really sick, but I just spent like 40 minutes on the phone with them, so I have a drink to do this video with Skinny Girl vodka, whatever, and some water flavor, some soda water. So that's where I am right now. Anyway, so I'm going to do a little bit of reading and then I'll kind of tell you what's up. So I'm not a supporter of inefficient systems. To make things a little bit more efficient for our friends at Washington Healthplanfinder, I have decided to record my issue. So I've had this ongoing issue with them for several months on YouTube. So the next time I call, I can just play the YouTube video, because I've seriously told this story like, I don't know how many, it's been longer. I think I started working on this issue back in May. The first one March, and we'll go into it, then May. My phone only really goes back to September 24th. Since September 24th, I have called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. Maybe 12 by now, including tonight, because I just spent 2 times tonight doing it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to tell what my issue is, so that when I call now, I can just play this video, and then hopefully, like, they'll get it without me having to just explain it over and over again, because it's getting really old. So what I'll do, I'll call them, put it on speakerphone, play this video, they can hear the audio. That'd be cool. Or maybe I can send them the link, but they never give me their email address. So, if you're not aware, if you have an issue with Washington Healthplanfinder, you give them a call, but you can never talk to the same person. So that's why I'm doing this. So I call and I talk to someone and say, oh yeah, we're going to resolve your issue, and then they don't. So it's never the same person working on the issue, so you're telling the same thing over and over. But it's super inefficient, because then no one knows what's going on. So I just had this long issue since March and then May that I noticed it, and it's what, November 12th, and it's still going on. So I think the lack of continuity really works against the system being productive or effective. So anyway, let me tell you a story. It's very fun. So on March 5th, I had some money, and money hasn't been my strong point lately because I am self-employed and in the new part of my business, well, 3 years in, but with startups, you know, it can be a little hard. So got some money. It was great. And I said, cool, I'm going to catch up on my healthcare bills. I just want this to be caught up. I'd been up behind a little bit. So I went online and I paid Washington Healthplanfinder $215 and I think 64 cents. It was awesome. Good. And then I said, you know what? I really want to be caught up on this. I really want to be caught up. Could I set up autopay? And she said, yeah, you can set up autopay. I said, awesome. So I said, but I'm caught up right now. It's March 6th. I'm caught up for March. I just want to make sure that I don't get charged this month, because I know you take it out on the 23rd. She's like, no, you won't. Cool. Set up autopay. Then I went on vacation in Mexico. I know I said I'm not made of money, and I went on vacation in Mexico, so it kind of makes no sense, but I do this really cool barter thing with my business. Check it out, iTax. And so I did go to Mexico on a trip, which is very nice, except for I got really sick too, so anyway, but whatever. So I'm in Mexico, seeing if I can buy some souvenirs on my phone, look at my bank account, and on the 23rd of March, they randomly took out $323. I'm like, what? Like, why did you do that? And it's because, again, they're inefficient systems. They didn't track it or whatever, so they thought they were taking out, they just took out all his money. I can't remember how they came up with that. So then I was overdrawn, which sucked, being on vacation and overdrawn and whatever. So, and then I got back and it was like 5 days, I think, before they could get it back in my account, so I wasn't eating much, but I lost weight, so that is good. I have a whole blog about it over at my personal blog, rulingatlife.blogspot.com. So go check that out. I call it the Washington Healthplanfinder diet when you don't eat much. So that was cool. Anyway, so they took that money out. I called and I made a fuss. I said, look, you took this money out, and then my broker and I dove deeper into the issue. In addition to that, they owed me money from December, from the previous year when I had overpaid, and then they owed me $25 for an overdraft fee. Cool, right? So good. They refunded me the money from 2014. They refunded me the 323, and they said, oh yeah, we'll refund your overdraft fee. I'm like, cool, good, whatever. And they never gave me the overdraft fee, but I kind of didn't really worry about it because it's $25. And while I really want $25, I knew their system was inefficient because I've had issues before, so I'm like, I'm not going to fight for $25 at this point. So anyway, May I go in, I had more money, I go in to pay my bill, and I realized like my bill was really high. I'm like, wait, why is my bill so high? And it turned out that they refunded the 323, but it also said that they had refunded the 215. I'm like, well, that's not right. I didn't get 215 back. So I called and they're like, yeah, no, we said we refunded you that. I'm like, well, you didn't refund me that. Sorry, cat. You didn't refund me that, so I would like you to give that to Primera so I can help healthcare. And they're like, but we refunded it. So I said, okay, let's look into this. I never got it. I want Primera to have that money that you never refunded me. I don't even want it back. I just want you to give it to Primera so I can, have healthcare. So that's so that was May. So it's become this spiral of me calling and being like, hey, what's up? Telling the story again, and then them being like very confused because it's just to look at this case out of nowhere, like when you've dealt with cases all day, they just don't seem to get it. So anyway, so I think since May I've been calling at least every 2 weeks. It's sometimes twice a week. And then in October, so seriously, the May, October, it's getting to be like end of September, and I had chronic fatigue syndrome, or I thought I had chronic fatigue syndrome, so I was going in for a sleep study on October 23rd. So starting the end of September, I think probably September 24th, or maybe before that, I'm calling in, I'm like, hey, this is becoming a medical issue. I have this sleep study. I'm really concerned that you not giving Primera the money I gave you that you said you refunded is going to make me lose coverage. So they said, oh, we'll escalate it to medically urgent. Oh, it's going to be so great. I'm like, okay, cool. And then, I've called, so since the 24th, I spent over 3 hours on the phone, and probably, another, at least 3 before that, maybe I think it's closer to 6. Because every time I call, it's about a half hour, 20, it looks like the calls on average are about 20, 30 minutes. And so then I called today, and I told the whole story, which is why I'm recording it. And she's like, oh yeah, so then I'm talking, and then the call drops. So I call back, and she's like, oh yeah, it's been closed out. Because they didn't understand the issue. They're saying, well, we already gave you 323. I'm like, well, I'm not worried about the 323. I got that, and I got to eat again, obviously. My cheeks are not sallow from the Washington Healthplanfinder diet anymore. So I said, all right. So basically now I'm just like, I cry like every time I have to call because it's just awful. So I'm hoping, record it, tell it, whatever. Maybe I'll get my money back. So I'm going to Twitter it. I hate to be that person, but it's like, it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be hours and hours on the phone. Efficient systems don't do that. I am, however, very grateful that Healthplanfinder has handed over their accounting to the individual providers, because now I can just pay Primera, and I haven't had any issues with that yet besides this floating money. But this is an older issue, so they still have my money, and it's not getting resolved. The other thing I did do, they asked me to do, was to submit bank statements for 6 months to ensure that they could see that that money had not been refunded into my account, and it hadn't. So, but every time I call, they can't seem to. They're like, oh, you uploaded that? I'm like, yeah, and they don't even see it. So, anyway, I don't know what I have to do to like get this resolved. Do I have to do hula hoop tricks? Like, I have a hula hoop in the other room. I'm really good at it, but I don't know. I was thinking suicide threat, but I'm not really suicidal over this. It's just like, I thought maybe that'll get attention, right? So make your system better, right? I think what could improve the system is to have one person. I mean, I think getting the money out of the game is very smart, and I really appreciate that. Good move. That's like the best thing you've ever done besides giving me back my $323. Not my overdraft fee, but whatever. Taking on vacation was really crappy, though, so don't do that again. That was really mean. So I think having the same person work on each case would be very good. I think you always take a callback number, which is good, but I think if the call drops, having someone be able to call a person back would be very helpful. So to recap, you said you refunded me $215. You did not. Give Primera my $215. That's all I want. You don't even have to give it to me. Just give it to them. It was not refunded. Second issue, when you took out the $323 on vacation, it overdrafted because I'm that poor. So it took out $25. Send me a check for $25. $215, $25. Separate things, but I want them both while we're at it. I wouldn't even ask for the $25 because it's not worth my damn time, but since I have you here, that's what I'm doing. So, cheers. Hopefully, I also now have a CPAP machine because I have sleep apnea. So, if I lose my insurance, I'm going to have to pay for that, which is going to be awful because obviously I wouldn't be making this video if I was rolling in dough. So, please help me. Please help me! Momo, please help. Please help me! I'm just an innocent kitty. Please help me! Please help me! Okay. Oh yeah, and my ticket number is 342303. Thank you. Bye.